Remember, the U.S. has about 2,000 troops on the ground in Syria. It's clear the Pentagon would like to not get drawn into this. Last night, I reached a senior U.S. defense official after the strike began to ask if the U.S. military was being asked to help Israel, and was told there had been no request for support or any political decision made as of yet about the U.S. military getting further involved. The White House just released the following statement. Quote, the United States condemns the Iranian regime's provocative rocket attacks from Syria against Israeli citizens, and we strongly support Israel's right to act in self-defense. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, bears full responsibility for the consequences of its reckless actions, and we call on the IRGC and its militant proxies, including Hezbollah, to take no further provocative steps. This is the largest Israeli strike in Syria since the Yom Kippur War in 1973. Russia said Israel used 28 warplanes, F-15 and F-16 fighter jets, to fire 60 air-to-surface missiles and 10 surface-to-surface missiles. The raid lasted 2 hours and targeted dozens of sites where Iranian advisors are based in Syria after Iran fired 20-plus rockets into the Golan Heights. Some of the Iranian missiles managed to break through Israel's missile defense known as the Iron Dome, according to a U.S. congressman who chairs the Homeland Security Committee and sits on the House Foreign Affairs Committee.
Now we know that Iran is able to penetrate that Iron Dome. They fired 20 missiles. Some of them actually got through the Iron Dome. Israel responded with a very strong retaliatory response against Iran in Syria. It's important to note that Iran is in Syria. They're in Iraq. They're in Lebanon. And that's where they've taken the money from the sanctions.
The Iranian strike on Israeli targets came a day after President Trump pulled out of the Iran nuclear deal, and just over 2 weeks after U.S. Central Command General Joe Votel was invited to Israel on an unusual trip, given that Israel does not fall under CENTCOM. Syria, however, does. Israel has been telegraphing for months that it would not stand by and allow Iranian infrastructure to grow unchecked in neighboring Syria. In the past 7 years, Julie, Israel has carried out more than 100 airstrikes in Syria since the civil war began, but last night's was by far the largest strike.